If you know, you might be listening to, or maybe not, your favorite, possibly not your favorite, Big Brother commentary show right here on the airwaves. This is the Diary Room.
The
The
diary
Diary
room.
Room.
The
The
diary
Diary
room.
Room.
The
The
diary
Diary
room.
Room. Welcome back. Week 6, y'all. Week 6. This is Big Brother Commentary Show, The Diary Room, coming at you, as always, stuck in the diary room. My name is Chris, just Chris, joined with the world's greatest co-host.
I'm
Let me get it on a
Emol.
mug. Let me get you a mug.
We actually need a mug on one side that says just Chris,
I
Chris,
dr
just only
Yeah,
Chris, always been only Chris, blah blah blah, joined with, and then the other side just goes, I'm Emol, and it's really small.
in tiny text.
Look out for merch in the future.
Yes, merch ideas coming in. I mean, I have my coffee often. I don't have my coffee today because I already had it,
Mm,
as you can tell by my upswinging demeanor.
I've
We're
had
yapping a
none
whole bunch.
coffee.
It's okay.
You could tell by my delirious behavior.
By my
By my trying my best.
We are back, stuck in the diary room for another week. Things are heating up. Things heated up last week, although it was kind of a dud week because we knew that the moment that someone that wasn't an icon or Kamu or Haley or Chuck was in power, that someone from the red corner would be leaving the house. And it ended up being the most expendable one anyway.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing really has changed.
No
Um,
disrespect, but nothing has
Nothing
changed.
changed. Um, Instead, this week we had a very turbulent time. I guess we can just hop right into Sunday because mostly everything is the same, and the only outcomes that can be decided is after HOH. To open the episode though, we had a funny production error when we're talking about the alliances. The alliance graphics have been going crazy this year.
Mm.
They've just been shoehorning it in as much as possible. Every time an alliance is mentioned, there is an accompanying graphic, no matter how small the alliance.
I think that we have like upwards of 20 named alliances this season.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
saw some video of somebody who was naming as many as humanly possible, and I'll have to find it because the funniest thing is he's like, there's an absurd amount and there'll only be more. And the comments were like, you forgot this one. You forgot this one. I'm like, I, I'm losing track. And at some point I stop caring. And if I know
Yeah.
your name, it's because it's memorable. And oh boy, is one of them is very memorable. But yeah, no, they're trying so hard because now half of the named alliances that they name in this episode are are marked no more,
Uh,
and it's mostly through
Unfortunate.
Kamu.
Well, they also somehow managed to mess up him the most because they actually spelled his name as Cam. We had many Cam moments. I only noticed it once, but apparently it was every time because they were copying and pasting it, obviously. Never
I
really paid attention to it after the first time I noticed it and giggled at it.
I think it was like 7 or 8 times that they just kept showing it, which also brought to my attention that they just keep showing. Because it was probably the Wolf Pack, I think, was the one that they showed that they had his name incorrect. Because that,
That's what I noticed it on.
and I think it honestly is because it ends up being so relevant to this episode, to the HOH comp, and before the HOH comp, I forgot it existed. So they had to push it.
I
Like
was
Cam.
vaguely aware of it because Dee was kind of talking about it sort of last week
Mm-hmm.
when they were like doing their thing and talking game, which will still be relevant this week because of one Thog. But we still have to get into the fallout of last week, and Angela still wants to work with Haley. Haley doesn't want to naturally, but she doesn't have a choice
Yeah.
because she is currently friendless and she doesn't trust Kamu, or she wants to work with Kamu, but doesn't trust him. She doesn't trust anyone. And we get the same trust talk, even though trust doesn't exist at all in this game, and especially this season, because every 3 seconds, someone new is getting backstabbed. This is Big Brother. The thing that's made me angry the most is that people speak of trust and are the most untrustworthy in like a hypocritical sense. Mostly D and the icons, especially D. I
Mm-hmm.
hate when she talks about people backstabbing her or not going through with things that she wants because they know that she's untrustworthy, and she tries to like insult them because they're not trustworthy, even though you've backstabbed like every single person living in this house. I
Mm-hmm.
would totally be a self-aware Big Brother player. Like, you're not gonna see me in the diary room talking like that. I'd be straight up. You gotta own it. That's why I love Melody,
Mm-hmm.
because she just tells it how it is and says how much she hates the other people that she's living with. It'd be nice if she won something though.
Do something,
Do something.
please.
That goes for all of FAP, by the way.
Do
Except Drew.
something.
Drew's the only one who's won something, so. And he
They'll
won the
get
most
there.
important, well, if he didn't win and who was up on the block with him?
Oh
If
no.
Haley won, it was Haley, right? That was the Haley
No,
week.
that
I
was
don't know.
that was the lyric melody week.
Yeah, if Lyric won, he was going home, I would think. So he would have needed to win that. He did need to win that competition technically.
Without
So
even knowing.
that is true.
Which I maybe we round a corner on this week a little bit. But
We'll
yeah,
see.
no, that whole group of people, I love them so dearly. Please do something. Please do something.
But now we get to the HOH. I think they've done this before. The count the things and lock in as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we have the count the things and lock in as fast as possible competition. We're counting bugs
Mm-hmm.
in boxes, but it's
Mm-hmm.
1v1. Oh wait, no, it was 1v1 style. Now it's coming back. I think it was in 26 that they did this. Unless they also did it last year, or unless they just did it last year.
I don't remember specifically like what they were counting or like what they locked in on. I think what they've done in the past too is like which of these three photos is different from the other, like find the different thing, or there's like a hidden creature or something.
Yeah.
But the style competition is staple.
Yes. And it's an interesting competition. For some reason, Dee and Devins think that they can pull a fast one on the house and make them think that they don't trust each other as much by picking each other to play, which makes no sense because the entire house knows that you guys are each other's number ones. So you're basically just throwing a wrench into your own each other's play. I don't see a purpose to it, but whatever. And Angela rightly calls this out, because she knows that everyone knows that they're working together. Whatever, man.
This is so weird because apparently prior to this competition, Drew and Barrett, I think specifically Drew, explained the concept of this competition to Dee and Devins. Because he's like, oh, well, you guys aren't Big Brother people. Maybe you're not familiar, and you're not supposed to pick people that you are working with. I don't know if up until this point that maybe the house doesn't realize that Dee and Devins are number one.
There's
I
no
don't know
way.
how they would hide it. Maybe like we see, because we see the two of them talk so much in the show. Maybe that's just a tiny fraction of what they actually do.
That's true.
But even if you don't think that they're number ones, you know that they're working together. There's
Yeah.
no point. Except that they're very cocky. And we see the Wolfpack graphic for the 10th, 100th time halfway through the episode of like, I'm chilling. Why are we like I don't think that they necessarily threw the whole thing, but I especially and maybe they just made her look like this because of the outcome of the day, but like it seemed like there wasn't a lot of trying. And what was the point of trying to make it look like you two aren't working together in a competition setting like this?
Mm.
I do like that
Pull the
Angela's mad.
shrug.
She
Uh,
sees it.
but either way, we have Yash is killing it. I noticed this immediately. I also wasn't might have been spoiled on who won by this point. I don't remember exactly. Um, and he ends up in a 1v1 against Barrett in the final round. And I forget, did Barrett get it wrong or did he get it faster?
I believe Barrett got it wrong.
Um, but either way, Chipotle Man, king of Chipotle. Also,
Hmm.
side note, have you seen that video of him from TikTok doing like the daily routine one?
Yeah.
I just love that video. Will acknowledge its existence at every single. It's so funny.
They had Rob has a podcast did a parody of it, and they showed it on Unlocked, like one of the first episodes, and it was so funny because I also want people to know, like this whole week really was a spotlight on Yash, who otherwise, and up until this point, I've been very much like, do something. Who are you,
He
please?
did something, y'all.
But I am just shocked that his personality is like that through and through. Like
And I love it.
that's a Gen
He's
Z, chronically
on.
online, somewhat like micro influencer. He's on TikTok, you could tell, and he's just like that. And I'm like, oh haha, Chipotle meme. Chipotle is my life, and then it just keeps coming up, and I'm like, oh, that is you.
Really loves Chipotle.
Slay, and good for him. Chipotle endorsement? Question mark?
He must have been real sad about Thursday. Do you know they had like BOGO Chipotle?
No,
Yeah, if
he
you came
did.
in with school merch,
Mm-hmm.
you got BOGO Chipotle. And I
Missed out.
didn't get it, unfortunately, but
Oh.
that's neither here nor there.
Solidarity with Yash. He also could not get
Yeah,
Chipotle.
well, I mean, he's not in school.
You could still wear the merch. They don't need to know. Chipotle is his life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he could wear like his alumni merch,
Yeah.
I
I
guess that
went to
would
school.
yeah.
Give me Chipotle.
Exactly. I don't think it, and also he could pass,
Yeah.
he'd pass as a student.
Day in my life getting Chipotle.
So Yash HOH, what was his album? Because I saw somebody post about it,
It
but I didn't listen to it.
was by Gunna. I don't remember
Oh,
the name. It was his 2022 album.
was it sh- I can't remember.
Uh,
What was it released in 2022?
I just know that people online were like, finally a good album, and I'm like,
Oh, it
I
was
know
DS4
nothing.
ever.
That sounds right.
It was DS4.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
And I'm here like,
um,
great.
good for you, Yash. He is finally in power. He needs to make some moves. He has basically zero standing in this game. Um, and he wants to do something large. Kamu and him have been super tight ever since Kamu broke away from Red Corner, and he's kind of running his HOH to an extent. I mean, they were both in their own headspaces, just collaborating. So, if anything, I wouldn't necessarily say this was a Kamu HOH as opposed to them just being super tight, kind of like Lala and Taylor. Even though
Hmm.
Taylor wasn't super active last week, although obviously she had her hands in the cookie jar,
Hmm.
she was mostly just in talks with him. But
I mean,
people did try to say that it was hit Kamu was running it, mostly like Devon's.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
he definitely appeared to have a lot of influence. I think he did have a decent amount, but you're right. I think to kind of start, they had a similar idea of how the week would play out, and Taylor was definitely there to give her 2 cents, but wasn't as in at least show wise was not as much calling shots as it seemed like Kamu was influencing what Yash wanted to do.
yeah. So Yash needs to figure out noms, and he obviously thinks Haley is the easiest one to put up just because the house doesn't care for her. She's just a punching bag. Sure, put up Haley. Safe nomination still would be a good move even if she went home. His second nomination, I guess, is Angela from the start. He doesn't think there's much to get to lose from it. Because she's an icon. He knows that she has pull, and she would be the easiest of the three of them to nominate. It's really
Mm-hmm.
funny saying that right now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Uh, but his third nom is where he runs into some problems. Now he wants to make a big move, and he wants to put D up as a pawn. Pawn in air quotes,
Mm-hmm.
because I guess the idea stems from the whole Kamu and Haley thing, which that I believe is planted in this episode where Kamu tells or Kamu and Haley are talking after Chuck's eviction because she needs allies and she's trying to dissuade him from working with the D, and he tells her some information that got quickly misconstrued because there was no way to verify that information easily. She tells him that D is telling people that Kamu's swearing on the Bible and lying, and Kamu's like, oh, like that's not true. So he starts to distrust her, even though the the information that Haley is referring to happened before the two of them, D and Kamu, hashed it out and cleared things up from a game perspective. So the timing matters in this situation because at the time when D was lying on Kamu's name, they hadn't formed a solid game alliance, even though Wolfpack was sort of formed. I don't I guess it gets muddy now because
Unfortunately, yeah. And like the timing of all this is ironic, like you said, where it's just kind of like any other like sitcom
it's just
where
messy.
it's messy, and unfortunately this is also right around the time when Dee and Kamu, like she confided so much in him after the lyric vote, where like yes, the two of them in theory should be solid, but then you've got Haley, who I also don't really blame because like she needs allies, like you said, and Kamu is not like the person that she wants to work with, but is the person that she could, and is giving him information. And now we're here with like old information slash lies going into this, um which I don't know if this is the point that I feel like I do also want to mention that Yash commented on wanting to make sure that he didn't put up men this week. He
Yeah,
like specifically was like, I want it
I
sounded
want the
more like
boys to stay.
I want the boys to stay as much as I want a girl to go home really bad. Girl bad, boy good. Which is hilarious because there's a lot of commentary around this because somebody made a comment about Yash weeks ago. It may have been Chuck saying like, "Oh well, Yash can't work with women," which is a little like the way that's worded is concerning. At this point, I'm kind of looking at it as like, well, a lot of the times the women are like, "Well, I don't want a woman to go home because raw women." So I'm just like, okay, like that's chill, but that is also interesting that like, well, Devons, you're not going up. You are a man. You are icon, but you are a man. Men cannot go up. Um,
But
so that
I
kind
don't
of
know if
made
they
it.
were working together either.
Well,
They kind of
Devons
were.
and Yash were
They,
in an
they were just
alliance.
friends.
Wasn't like Yash? Who's the Dapper Dans?
The Dapper
Am I
Dans.
making that up? What
Probably
is
not. I
was
mean,
their alliance? It was at least in that room at some point when he's like, "Raw, the boys." It was Devons, Kamu, Drew with Yash. And so I think to at least an extent, I'm pretty sure Devons and Yash are in somewhat of an alliance, which is what made the events of Wednesday,
yeah.
so much crazier. But I think that's also why Devons knew that she was going up. And at that point, again, as an air quotes pawn at this point. And then that's when we also get the sad music in Diary Room, clown music in Diary Room, where she was like, I'm so safe. And Devon's like, you are going on the block, girl. And she's like, I am so stupid. And that's the second half of the episode.
Yeah. Besides another important conversation between Yash and Dee, where she tries to bribe Yash for both Angela and her. In what universe would he take this bribe, even if it's for $5,000? Two people is crazy. Also kind of reveals a little bit about the bribe that I've just been like, it's such a weird power that just makes no sense. Does this mean that she can keep multiple people safe with her bribe? what other rules can she that are not exactly explicitly clear can she do? Can she buy a jury vote? I really want to know if she can buy a jury vote.
Like people are speculating a lot about that. Like what are the limits on this thing? And the funniest thing out of this conversation is the biggest limit is the fact that it is just so weak. And I believe it is in this episode where they did try to edit it in a certain way that it's just like, ooh, this is a big thing. Like, you want this so bad. It's $5,000. And you kind of see it in this conversation. Like, I guess a little afterwards when Taylor comes in, when she's like, get that coin kind of thing. And it's just like, no, like maybe that was her first reaction. She said like a liner, and aside from that, it's just like only $5,000. So I think maybe the way to make up for that is it seems pretty unlimited otherwise. I thought originally you could use it once, and if it fails and it fizzles out. And then in the same breath, she's like, well, because Yash is like, no. Like, like he said it in a different way, but it's just like, yeah, no. Like, you and Angela for $5,000, and in the same breath, she's like, okay, well, what about me? Just me. And I'm like, I didn't know you could amend this. I guess she could just keep it in her pocket until someone takes
I
it. Or
I
no one
feel like
does.
the power is to be used more as a bargaining tool,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think she understands that she can't just throw like you have to offer them. I don't really know how to explain the way that I'm thinking about this. If it was me, I
Mm-hmm.
would go about using the power as a way to sweeten a deal as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just throwing a suggestion out there and asking them to do something. Like, you have to game your way into getting them to to accept the bribe. So you obviously need to have some sort of bargaining skill, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just be like, keep me safe for $5,000. I have to be like, okay, we can work together. We can get somewhere. Maybe they're working with another person. And also, I have $5,000. If you want the $5,000 to solidify this move, like, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel like the most useful way of getting it to work would be.
Because it's so little, I think you're right where it kind of needs to be like cherry on top to something else.
Yeah.
And hopefully she realizes this after this situation where it's like, yeah, but the other thing is it was so sudden because she thought that she had it good with Yash, and clearly she got an incredibly incorrect read. Ironically, he did not need to win this HOH. Like, was really well insulated, because if D were HOH, that means clearly she, I mean, obviously it would have been different if she actually won, but it seems like in her eyes he wouldn't have been a target. So point is she didn't feel like she needed to plant any like safety seeds. And it seems like she went up there because she knew she was going up.
Yeah.
Whereas if the timing was different, or maybe from the jump, she's like, I can't tell where we are, and I do have this feeling he's gonna put me up. It would be like, hey, I love that I feel so safe this week, and I appreciate you keeping me off the block. And, because of that, like, just wanted to talk about the future and how safe we are. And you know what? I have this power. I have $5,000. I feel like you're really worthy of it. I feel like I'm so appreciative where if you didn't win and it would have been whoever, I would have been really nervous. Just, you're right. Like, it needs to be a piece of something else. And just going up to his room and being like, Keep me and Angela safe. 5K. Boom. And he's
Sadly.
like, and I quoted, "Tell me you're working with Angela without telling me you're working with Angela," is so like, yeah. There's no like other more obvious thing that she could have done here. This is huge fail. Womp womp.
Womp. And now the house knows that she has it too, because it spread. I don't know if it was this episode. Either way, it still spreads because Yash tells somebody. I think it got to like Mallory and Melody or whatever.
It's very
And then they told
complicated.
people.
It's really complicated because I was in and out of feeds, and there was I don't know if they showed it on Wednesday or Thursday, but there was that scene with Yash with the For the American People Alliance in the pantry, and they got him to say For the American People, but it was haha funny because he's got no idea. But in that conversation, post post veto ceremony, Yash was trying to convince the four of them that D had the oh gosh, the power that you could take over an HOH because he's still trying to make it like the icons have powers. We still need to get them out. They weren't all washed, which is complex because Yash told like Kamu or like one other person about her power, and then it gets out, and then Mallory finds out about it, like not through Yash, and then they're just like, well, Yash was lying, and it was kind of an unnecessary thing.
Yeah,
I don't know why he was trying to keep something safe about D because he also could have played up the bribe and not lie. Oh no. But yeah, no, point is at the end of this week, everyone knows, and it's still only $5,000. We had Melody who was like, "That's it," basically.
yeah,
Which like production, there's no saving that in this economy. $5,000 is not that much.
that is true.
We
And
had
it's
10K
taxed,
last
I would
season.
think. I don't
Has to
think
be.
it would be game winnings, I would assume. So it's really $2,400.
And if someone were to bribe me and be like, "I have $5,000," if my
I have
target,
I have
or
3 weeks of pay for you.
I would look at them and be like, "Does that include tax?" Be like, and I'd just
I will
like
pay
break the
for your
fourth
rent
wall.
for one
I
month.
will get groceries once. I could buy a couple extra things. It's like, no, I'm not gonna keep you
Ugh.
and your friends safe. So I don't know what that means for the bribe in the future, but it's
I'm sure
kind of
she'll find a way to
tragic.
use it eventually. She has all game, right?
All game, which is
Buy a
insane.
jury vote.
But also, like, like, honestly, I don't know what the stipend is once you're a jury member. How much do you get, like, if you're in what place? And then when do you use it? And then there's, like, the third and second place prize. At what point is it's still useless? Like,
You buy
$5,000.
Haley's jury vote. That's what you do.
Sigh.
Haley knows she's going home. The week that she's going home, say she's
Mm,
up against like, I don't know, who would be the easiest target for her to go home against? Like Angela? Say it's
I
Haley
don't
and
even.
Angela
Yeah.
next week.
Mm-hmm.
She's going home. Next week is jury too, right?
I think we have one more week,
Or is it one more?
actually. Yeah. So the week
So
after.
it's this next one, and then the week after is the final eviction, and then the week after that is when jury starts? Or is it next week eviction, the week after is when the first jury member is going to get evicted?
I think we have one more pre-juror.
Okay, so it's next week eviction,
Yeah.
next week after
I
is
think so.
jury. Oh, okay.
Unless they switch something up on us. And they also
Unless
have
we get a double eviction for the 1000th episode. That would be
I
crazy.
I think it would be really unfortunate. like super fast paced thousandth episode, but I do think there
Well,
has to be a double.
is it a long it's a longer episode, right?
I think so.
Is it 2 hours? I hope it's 2 hours. That's also my birthday, by the way.
Oh my gosh!
My birthday is on the 1000th episode of Big Brother.
That's so sick.
So,
It's a 90-minute episode.
oh,
Happy birthday. Everything's gonna explode,
everything's
maybe.
gonna explode.
Like, hello, BB gods, for my
Whoa.
birthday. Can you do this for me?
Uh, that's gonna be wild.
hmm
I need to make it through move-in first. Anyways, we're still talking about oof,
Fail bribe.
failed bribe. And then
Womp
we
womp.
get the next time capsule member. So last week we got a punishment for Mallory.
And
This week
Melody.
we get another punishment for Mallory.
Melody punishment times two.
I think it's actually so crazy. The last time capsule is this week.
hmm
And I mean, I voted for Drew the past 3 weeks. Still voted for Drew this week.
I think he's got a real chance this week.
Please, guys, please.
I think it is.
It's between Barrett and him for sure.
I think it's between them and Taylor.
And Taylor too, yeah.
But you pointed out Taylor wasn't really very active on the show
Taylor
this
hasn't
week.
existed. Even last week when Lala was in power, she
hmm
hardly existed. Because
I
it was Kamu.
and so I'm pretty sure Kamu really did well in the vote for this week too. I personally I haven't voted, but I've seen like screenshots of like, the current standings and apparently
Vote for Drew.
Kamu was doing really well,
Now
which
his
is
vote getting slashed.
crazy to me because,
Wait.
from online, yeah, well, they know at this point, like that from the episode, he's a really strong player. Um, but no, if you're listening to us, you know the outcome already.
That
Um, and so now I think up there
Freudian
is
slip.
remains Drew and Barrett and Taylor. We also
I
got a
guess we'll
Taylor
have to see.
endorsement though, so we'll see. We'll
She
find out very
will
soon.
find out soon.
But this week,
So this week, Melody gets the Lord of the Latrine, which was whose punishment was this again?
this was Derek X
Derek X?
in
Yeah.
season 23.
3, 4? 4.
I think it was 23 because that was the season that X won.
Oh, I thought that was 24.
24 was Taylor,
Oh, yeah,
he
you're so right.
thinks.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I know the
It was
lore.
Taylor.
No, because that was the season where we had X and Derek X
Yeah.
and other Derek, that's Big
And
D.
other Derek.
There was a lot of Derek and X going on, but there was only one Lord of the Latrine, and
Yes.
now in the grand
Now there's a
2026,
lady
there's
of
a
the
lady.
latrine.
She was a really
Um,
good sport about
She
this.
was the best one.
hmm
Derek was like, because they made them like play up the medieval thing.
Yeah.
That like Melody was just over it. She,
She's just screaming. It was
it was so, and they would tell her to scream louder too.
louder. She's like, going to use the bathroom. And apparently,
Descendants must use the porcelain throne.
but still, like, there was Sir, and that was the extent of it. And other than that, it was just screaming, and apparently she barely knew how to, like, blow into the horn. And it was, like, just kind of just hilarious. And I'm glad that this was only 24 hours, right?
Yeah,
All right, which is good. It's still crazy that the egg was a week.
yeah.
Why the egg was a week, and
I guess
that
because
was
like it didn't affect the lives of the other house guests.
but it really affected Angela, and I feel bad that like she had all that time, and then I mean to be like tethered to someone for more than 48 hours would be a lot too. So my point is I wish the egg was maybe a little less because I feel like the egg would have impacted the
Yeah,
other house guests less. It was that took a toll on poor Angela. But to do
she
more
got
than
her moment though.
she did, she did her egg moment. But to do more than 24 hours for Lady of the Latrine would have been unfortunate, but we got some great moments in that 24 hours.
Thank you, Melody, for being entertaining, even if you're not going to do anything.
At least we
Ah,
got that. We also got System of a Down mention.
yeah, they were talking about, was that this? I thought that was Wednesday. I think, yeah, that was
That
Wednesday's
was
episode.
Wednesday, but still
Yeah,
Lady
they
of
were
the
still lady.
Latrine.
That was the lady bit though. Yeah, they were all talking about metal,
Like,
and then
right
Devin,
on.
Sir Devins must use the porcelain throne. Um, but now it's noms,
Mm-hmm.
noms,
Nom nom nom.
and um, d Yash did not nom the 5K,
Nope.
because he nom D, and Haley and Angela
Mm-hmm.
for easy nominations. He is very set on. He's not 100% set on a target at the moment, actually. He doesn't have a solid one until Wednesday, even though he's leaning towards D because she is the strongest of the three. Um, and Haley is also sort of trying to work with him. Is
Mm-hmm.
that Wednesday? I don't know, but that
Yeah,
just goes to show the fluidity of his target.
he honestly at this point is in really a good spot where this is how you should be HOH. You put up all three people that you either really want to go or you could care less if they go. Yeah, at some point between the two, there's a conversation with him and Haley, and he's like, honestly, like, I would like you to stay. Also knowing that if she didn't, it doesn't matter. So up until this point, like, this is great for Yash. And I think it was kind of hard for a lot of people to see this, especially if they're actively really rooting for the icons, especially D, where like online commentary, like, this sucks. This is the worst ever. And I'm like, he should be going after them in the long run. Sorry to Wolfpack, but like, what was that before, you know, Kamu's misspelling of his name? Like, it was just a big thing as of late. So honestly, coming out of the nomination ceremony, I was like, good for him. I'm rooting for half those people, but still, that was like, this is good. Keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he's not making a small move by any means. I mean, you're putting two icons up, which is automatically gonna throw some target, get a lot of blood on your hands.
Then they've
But
never been up,
yeah,
and
that's the
that
other thing.
that was a huge thing, a
He
huge
needs to build the
conversation.
resume.
Their
He wants.
their what was it, the council meeting or whatever they call it when Lala was HOH. They're like, we must put up
Oh,
the icons.
yeah.
Big background information of you know how the icons found out about that. But yeah,
But we move into Wednesday, and now we have more who is Yasha's target talk. Haley tries to console with Yash about working together, and Yash is like, "Well, I don't really have a super solid target," and then Haley needs allies, so maybe it'd be cool to use her as a shield. Um, then from that point on, um, Yash is just really bent on making a big move, and Kamu's like, okay, like Dee's throwing my name under the bus. You should totally look to target her. And this was the smartest move from the jump with your nominations either way. So he was gonna arrive at it regardless. Um, they sort of just try and pin that on Kamu's influence, even though I don't really think that's a fair assessment of the current state of the game. Because
Mm.
why wouldn't you target D in this situation? Like anyone with a brain would. Obviously, they don't know how much power she has at play, which is what the audience is thinking, I'm sure.
The audience has
But
a ton more context than these people do.
yeah. Um, Not much else happens on Wednesday though, besides solidifying D as the target. Um, then we get the veto picks and the veto
Well,
because
the only other thing there was when D and I wrote this down, but I don't remember the full context of D throwing out Drew's name for a possible nomination that I
and Barrett.
believe this both gets back to them because Yash is boys with Drew. And this is kind of when Drew starts to understand, like, oh, maybe the icons don't have my back as much as I thought they did, which is ironic because
I mean, he's
now,
thought about. I don't think this is the first revelation that he's had, but it certainly got worse.
like, because when he was up, when he won that blockbuster, he doesn't know how close he was to going. And so,
Yeah,
of course, when he won that and there was no votes against him because he wasn't eligible, he never really understood the severity of that.
it's
He,
true.
of course, knew because at the time, I think that was Haley's HOH,
Yeah.
where, how could I forget the Thog face of it all? But in theory, like he was working with her and the icons, and he's like, this is kind of weird. And had to move on because there was no like confrontation, there was no big thing about it. But the fact that he has been giving information to Dee and Angela, who were very against him, in time they have turned a corner, a new leaf on like, oh no, actually Drew's chill. And now Drew is like, so what happened a couple weeks ago in context of, well, if D is throwing out my name, I think this just kind of solidifies his mentality of maybe I'm not as close with the icons, and I think that FAP is the move, which comes into play more on Thursday and just throughout the week. But I feel like this could be like either a tiny little blip of what's to come, or this could be like it just aided what happened 2 weeks ago, and it's a little catalyst into like down the line if Drew ever comes into power and could actually make a move. So seemingly insignificant right now,
Yeah.
but for the future, and as a Drew supporter, I'm like, yes, put two and two together, two and two
Go
and two
Drew.
together. This is great. So that's why I wanted to mention that.
That's true. I mean, he he's been a little, I don't want to say clueless, but I guess carefree is a better word because he obviously is looking out for his main allies in FAP. But he still thinks that the icons have him somewhat. So that is true.
Little eye
But
open moment.
yes, we move to the veto. And the veto is actually an OTEV. And Barrett and Melody got picked to play along with the block people and Yash. Drew tells Barrett that he is also probably going to go on the block if there has to be a renom. So Barrett is like, gotta win this, have to win this.
I have to
Uh,
win this competition.
and I mean, it was a normal OTEV as opposed to was it last season or was it the season before that? Was Mackenzie
That was
20
26.
26? Yeah.
The one round
The
OTEV
one round OTEV.
that
I
I think Angela did play in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Um
so she's back for a normal version of OTEV.
and she
Um,
still got out round
she
one.
still got out round one, so that's her limit. She could be eligible to play, and that's as far as she could get in OTEV.
So up until this point, I was actually unspoiled after the past 2 weeks of being spoiled, and I was really gunning for Barrett. But he kind of got mogged by Yash. Yash played. He actually like most people in OTEV don't pick up the correct answer and instead just hide it. Yash just held on to the final answer. It was a 1v1 between the two of them, and he found it was Ashley and Jason. The question was who are the two unanimous votes? And they had to find two plates,
Hmm.
and Yash found two Ashleys, and Barrett was looking for an Ashley, and Barrett found two Jasons, but didn't pick up the second Jason.
Hmm.
And Yash ended up finding the Jason and just threw the Ashley away when he was going up the slide
Hmm.
for a Yash total control week. This was very surprising to see after zero wins from Yash. Well, he won a Blockbuster, I guess,
Yeah.
because he said
He
that.
saved
What week was
himself
that?
week one. When
Oh,
that's when D put him up, even though she had
yes,
promised him safety, which is
yes.
like
Forgot
funny
about
that
that.
all these weeks later that's coming back. He literally again and honestly, it was like I wanted to see more from Yash, potentially more from Chuck, and those were like the last two players where I'm like, I need you guys to do something. Chuck gone, nothing changed, and Yash is like, it's my time to shine.
Time.
And then this was really his week until it wasn't. But again, total
No.
control right now, HOH and Veto. You know who does not have any control? Poor Barrett, who gets second place
All the
again.
time.
And tragically, that is one of has to be one of the most annoying spots to be in, where continuously getting really close and specifically second place puts you in an awful spot that's like you don't have the glory of winning the competition, but you do get the punishment of people recognizing that you are a comp threat despite not winning. But you're up there. I love
But
Barrett.
also, I
I
feel
just
like
want to be
people
his
haven't
friend.
labeled him as a comp threat either, that which is kind of funny. Because,
Hmm.
I mean, I think we were talking about this last week or a couple weeks ago, but like, who notices second place in the house?
I,
The, I mean, maybe they do, but I don't think anybody's ever talked about it to my knowledge.
I think at some point it becomes so consistent that somebody's bound to notice it. I feel like someone had to. I feel like someone like Drew is likely to notice it. It works
Yeah.
in his favor because he's close with Barrett. But, at some point, maybe it'll take someone like Dee and Angela, and we're getting closer to the end. And if, the remnants of, uh, where are we on? Well, I guess the crew that, did we talk about? Uh, Mosh Pit? No. Well,
No, Mosh Pit is after.
is
Mosh
right
Pit
after.
is
But
now.
so right now, perfect segue. But like the point is if some group like them were to make it to the final seven, how do you start paring down? Well, Barrett. Barrett's the comp threat. I feel like maybe people would start to
Yeah.
notice because they're also someone like Angela is studying in the back of her mind. What days are which because you got to know that by the end of whatever. It's like, oh, who came in second place in this comp? Wait, Barrett comes in second place a lot. So I think this is another one of those details where it's like tiny now, but who knows? But also
But
overall, I just feel for Barrett because I know it's OTEV. He got to play
yeah.
OTEV. That's awesome. So close. And I did feel bad that Drew wasn't able to play because he's such a
Yeah.
big fan. It felt a little not as bad, but like when Adrian wanted to play the wall so bad. It's like let the super fans play OTEV. Like let them play. Let everyone go inside. Let them play the game. There's
I'd be
no
really upset
there's
if
no
I didn't get
prize.
there, though.
And like I'm pretty sure something like Rachel's been in the house 3 times and she's never once played the wall. I think she's hosted every time or something
Really?
like that. I'm pretty sure because in
She was
27 she hosts,
she was
and
HOH the week prior.
I'm really sure she's been HOH the week prior.
That's really funny.
Yep. So,
I
but
didn't
also good for
actually
her.
know that.
I'm pretty sure she said it in like an interview. I'll have to fact check it. But she just happened to host or like not be eligible.
Yeah. Wow. Well, um, OTEV, guys. So now, I guess this is the biggest moment in the entire everything. The entire week is about to flip on its head. We open to Devon's in the the gym.
I loved this.
This was, I mean, I don't know if he does this often, but like he just starts talking and then he just starts like at first it sounds like he's like just talking to himself, trying to go through his game, and then he dives into a monologue.
This was
Uh,
so good.
he like transitioned perfectly and everything about how he wants to blow the game up again because we're doing it every week now. He needs to use his power prior to next week. He only has next week to use it if he doesn't use it this week. And the stars are kind of aligning here. At least through his eyes. He's powerless. His best friend is up on the block. There is no guarantee for him to be able to use his power next week effectively. He's gonna get the most value out of the power now. And he decides to come up with this plan to rally the troops and to declare war on everyone else. In the middle, I'm gonna leave y'all on a cliffhanger. It's time to go to break. We'll be right back. 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We're still locked in the diary room. The diary room.
No, no,
The diary. The diary.
no.
Post gym. Devon's just had the rawest monologue ever in the gym, talking to himself about how much he wanted to blow up the game, blow up the Big Brother house
My
for the
mango.
third time this season. Fourth time, maybe. I'm not sure.
Again.
The blasts have been just coming and they ain't stopping now. Most of the time, it's been Devon's at the helm, which the fact that nobody is looking his direction is a little ridiculous to me.
It's awesome.
If he manages to make it into like it's like Keanu if nobody was paying attention to him
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
he's not winning any competitions. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what draws the most attention to you because he hasn't had any power, but he's been at the helm of every single big game move.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
And that calls for dramatic gym monologue.
dramatic gym
I
monologue
loved it.
commenced. But now it's time to enact the plan.
Hmm.
So he goes to D, and D's like, "Wow, I was thinking about this too, but I didn't really think that you would want to do it."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "It's time." So it's time.
Ring
Then
the
enter,
bell.
ring the bell, rally the troops. Once Dee gets wind, she goes to Angela, drops hints. Angela's like, I knew this. I literally knew this.
She handled it well
Guys, I knew this.
because she knew. Yeah.
Um, which it really shows how scary Angela, like as much as I love to throw around that she's just a walking check, like she's she has her moments. Um,
I feel like she, as much as she doesn't have it going on, she really does.
does
Because, I
that
mean,
paranoia is
she
crazy.
she knows it's obvious that the icons are the ones who have been voted, and if they didn't come out with punishments, they were not eggs. She was egg, and I'm very impressed that she's been quiet about it and not like, I know you have the power, because she's working with them. So good for Angela, and her putting two and two together is great, fantastic.
Yeah. So while Dee is off working her magic, Devins is out dropping hints to the FAP members about how he wants to merge alliances. And he first goes to Drew. Drew's like, absolutely. That sounds great. Mallory thinks it's a good move, but she does double down and say that her allegiance is first and foremost going to be forever to FAP, which is smart. The four of them, this is the true alliance, the truest alliance in the game, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
if anyone was wondering. Um, the four of them are inseparable, and I love that for them.
Mm-hmm. I love them. I want to be.
Yeah,
I want
I
to be a
really
part of
hope
them.
that that is where we end up next week in power. No idea. I know you know. We're not going to talk about this anymore. Sealed lips. Um, so after these conversations, big outdoor seance with the seven of them, formally declaring the alliance, the mosh pit.
Which I love.
That was funny.
This is for me. They did this for me. Except they started going like this, and I'm like, okay, okay,
Yeah,
Queen, go off.
for y'all.
Me in the meat locker.
Me and the
Ugh.
we're gonna hit that.
We're gonna hit the mosh pit move
Mosh
in the
pit.
mosh pit.
So it does not go unnoticed by these house guests that this was a very quickly formed alliance, which will be relevant after probably the craziest veto meeting the season has seen yet. We've seen a crazy nomination ceremony. Now we get a crazy veto. Devon's blindsides the entire house, essentially, except for the icons, because everyone else knew that Devon's probably had a power, but nobody knew that he actually had a power, nor what he actually could do with the power outside of the icons. Even the rest of the mosh pit had no idea. They just were roped into this alliance, and they maybe Drew and Barrett had an idea that there would be a power, or not entirely sure. It was a surprise either way.
Barrett spoke a lot about the Diamond Power of Veto with Devon's. A
Yeah.
suspicious amount where I think it was kind of like Angela, where Barrett's like, Barrett and Drew are like, you've got something. It's becoming obvious that you don't have a punishment and you are beloved. You've got something. And the fact that Barrett's like, Diamond Power Veto is very impressive. Also scary. Don't say that. You know too much. But yeah. No, there's like just a little group of people who are like, "Ah, I knew it, but I didn't, but I knew it. Taylor and Lala didn't know.
They were absolutely befuddled.
Jaw on the
Jaw,
ground.
my jaw, I mean, the production really did a good job with this. Like, it felt very grand, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's what they were going for. I think they succeeded in the edit super well, leaving in just the right amount of information to just make it a really big TV moment. Um, Devin's got his moment. He's been at the helm of every big move this season. This time is directly his influence. He is getting the blood on his hands the most directly. Although not exactly what the house thinks. However, we kind of will get into that at the beginning of Thursday while everything explodes.
And the funny thing is, just to note, Yash did not use the veto. That
Oh yeah, he was well, of course, yes. Yash
Devon's
was
was the spotlight. That at some point I forgot that Yash won the veto, and I'm making the little like graphic for it, and I'm like, I don't even remember who won because it doesn't matter. This was Devon's time to shine. But to your point, it is very crazy that I think that the edit was done well. I think this was fine. I almost wish it was a little bit more grand, but the real disappointment for me is getting into this aftermath because we're gonna declare war on everybody, and unfortunately, the bigger than Yash is Kamu, who doesn't want war.
yeah, he wants peace.
And we want
Mm,
war. And I
yeah.
never want war. But
I
here
want
we
war in the
are.
Big Brother
War in
house.
the Big Brother house, but yeah,
That's
but
all I want.
but when Devon's kind of stands up there, it looks like he needs like a little hero cape, like blowing behind him, and Angela didn't say a word. We were talking before the show about how you don't want me to spoil the next week's HOH, and then you're like, I knew that it was Yash because you were silent and you weren't saying anything. It's like Angela's
Well,
a bad liar. She just sat there like this with her lips pressed together. She's like, I can't say anything. I don't know about this. I don't know anything. And Dee acts like she's shocked. I knew it. You
I knew
did.
it.
You
Whoa.
did.
Yeah. So Devins has his moment. Yash is blindsided, but we don't see the sparks fly as an aftermath as much as we would hope. Because as we hop into Thursday, things get very covert. Um,
Oh, wait. Kamu goes up.
yeah,
I don't even know
Kamu
if we
goes.
actually said that.
Oh, I thought we kind of
I don't even know. It's like
insinuated that. Yeah, well, Kamu went
so
up.
it's so what happened that by the end of the week it's just like, well, yeah. But also after the ceremony, feeds go back up with the big diamond of veto right around Dee's neck. So everyone's just like, "Oh, he did it. Cool." Um, and yeah, that was kind of the reveal of obviously the in between. That was the actual ceremony.
So we open on D and Kamu hashing it out. D refused to shake Kamu's hand at the ceremony. Um, and for some reason, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what her motive was. I mean, she kind of they get to talking, and I mean, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Let take the lead on this one because I actually this was like I missed this conversation because I watched Wednesday into Thursday as it was live and I couldn't rewind it. So I did
Yeah.
miss like the first 5 minutes and didn't go back.
Honestly, yeah, we get Dee and Kamu talking after the ceremony because one of the craziest things to point out from all of this is that so much of the heat of Devon's finally using his power is on Dee and not Devon's. So it's obvious, even if they tried in the HOH comp to not show everyone that they were really close, it's obvious they were, and Dee had a heavy hand in making this decision. I honestly think, as far as that handshake goes, I think she was just feeling really powerful in that moment. And Kamu, one of his biggest strengths is how civil he is and how he could always adapt to the person in power and, just all the circumstances he faces, which is scary impressive. So this is when there's a bit of a confrontation about all the lies that Kamu was told that Dee was spreading about him, including that Bible moment, about swearing on the Bible, about things that weren't true. And so this is kind of that anti Haley sentiment that, of course, before the blockbuster on the episode, naturally we have to come up with a reason why any one person on the block would be going. And this is the Haley going home moment, where they kind of pin it on the lies that she said weeks before. And obviously, based on, his speech later, a lie on the Bible is a really big thing for him that he's upset about. And so it's weird, like, kind of clearing the air moment, and Dee's like a little bit like, oh, like there's kind of a brief moment of like, oh, I wish we talked about this sooner, and then we wouldn't be in this mess seconds after the mess, because Kamu's just simply able to talk himself out of anything. But I mean, obviously, in the end, he's a big threat, so it was good that this happened anyway. But for Dee's part, Kamu is seeing that this was her move. Let's clear the air, and like they're chill, but like he's not really chill. But like he, everyone thinks that they're chill with Kamu at some point, which is crazy. Because just a week ago, she was confiding everything in him. Whatever. So this is kind of like the post veto meeting anti Haley segment going into Thursday of like, why would
Yeah.
Haley go home over Kamu?
Now, we immediately get into, I guess, was there also, I assume there was a moment with Kamu and Yash trying to figure out how to recover from this move, because Yash is, I started the episode during the conversation between Yash and Mallory and Melody, where he was trying to convince them that the icons are not to be trusted and that we got to go after one of them so that we can band together as the rest of the house to get rid of them before we just lose the game. Um, from this, Melody and Mallory internalize it, talk by themselves, and in the diary room, they they think that he is right naturally because he is. But
Yeah.
Melody and Mallory look out for each other first and foremost. And Yash really did get into their heads because they know that they would be the first to go from this mosh pit alliance because Barrett and Drew were already working with the icons.
Which
So,
Angela spilled, which
well,
I love. She's like, ah, I'm sure you already know. It's like, oh, don't assume that. But yeah,
yeah,
no, that
that
makes
is,
it even more clear to them that they're at the bottom of the mosh pit.
but
And you don't want to be at the bottom of a mosh
you don't want
pit.
to be at the bottom of the mosh pit.
No.
And another thing worth mentioning is what was I trying to say? Oh yes. I think it was Mallory who recognizes that the alliance, the mosh pit, was formed very close to the veto ceremony. Um, and it doesn't get lost on them that this was intentional because Devon's needed numbers, uh, which the move was forcibly made. So of course you're going to have to think about removing Kamu because first of all, when do you ever get this opportunity? Second of all, he's gonna choose him regardless, and you guys just made a strategic move to merge a big strategic move to merge alliances. You can't immediately double back on that. So she recognizes that this is a strange occurrence and just kind of moves on from it.
This is another one of those things where it's like maybe small now, big in the future.
Big in the future.
I think if of all of the things that I've said that about though, this is probably big in the near future. Again,
Yeah.
regardless of who has power, it's just like Melody and Mallory are really smart. They'll
Yeah.
pick up on stuff like that and they see the strategy in this and they'll be along for the ride so long as it really benefits them. Jump ship when they need to. But
Yes.
I'm really glad that we got that commentary from them of kind of like seeing through what happened, but also recognizing like, at least we're on the right side of this.
But there is merit to removing everyone. Honestly, the least of all of them would certainly be Haley. Haley's just gonna sit on the block every week unless if she's not in power, because she's the easiest nomination. And I mean, I wonder when it will be time to take the shot at her. I mean, I don't know anything about next week, so I'm not gonna say anything else.
I started referring to Haley. What did I say before? I said like she is sort of becoming like Keanu this season, but I liked Keanu a lot
And
more.
Keanu actually won stuff all the
Actually won,
time.
but because I mean she really saved herself
Won.
last week when she needed to. And then obviously this week went all over, but you know, at some point you are such a big target that it just becomes standard that you're a target. And then, well, if she's like, why are we gonna bother at some point? Like, why do we bother getting rid of her when we don't need to? I think that she'll just be on the block for a while, and then it's like, ah, but you have the Blockbuster, you'll figure it out. You go up there, and like she's gonna be miserable. She's gonna be
Good.
such a
She'll
misery.
finally have to, well, I mean, she's
She's had
already
really
living
hard
through it.
6 weeks.
Yeah. Now she's gonna have a really hard rest of the game
Mm-hmm.
until she walks out the door. Um, but I mean, other than that, it wasn't much else. Um,
I loved the moment where FAP were talking in the pantry with Yash, and they got him to say for the American people, and they were all like hee hee hee, because he didn't know that that was the name of the alliance that he's with. And I also, oh, also to mention that at the very end of the formation of Mosh Pit, from the day prior, Kamu just kind of walks up to them
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just like, oh, and then they were really suspiciously quiet. I'm gonna believe that they made it like they edited it to be like that, and they were better at hiding that. I hope so. But
Yeah.
a couple funny moments that I enjoyed prior
That
to
also might have
Blockbuster.
been why he wasn't as surprised to take a seat. But I mean, he wasn't not surprised, but
Hmm.
he was civil about it. That
Which
also
is
just speaks
impressive.
more towards Camus as Camus.
Yeah.
So
Or Cam.
yeah, Cam.
Cam moment.
But now we get Blockbuster. Um, I feel like they moved into it really quickly. But I mean, this is a very varied outcome.
Hmm.
Because if Camus wins, then Angela is probably going home. Angela is very much in danger here. This is
Hmm.
probably the most danger she's ever been in.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Lala, Taylor, everyone is thinking we need to get rid of the icons. If
Hmm.
any of them are if anyone's gonna have the opportunity to get rid of at least one of them, you must take the shot. Um,
Hmm.
and
I
unfortunately, oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's not too far from their argument with Kamu,
Yeah,
where it's just like, when are we gonna have this opportunity again? Of the three icons, maybe she's not like the one that you wanted out the most, but she's still one and she's up there. When will we have this chance?
yeah. And Haley, I mean, if Haley wins, I I don't know. I feel like Kamu is a bigger threat between the two of them.
Yeah.
Angela's definitely staying against Kamu. She's probably going against Haley. Unless, I mean, maybe she's not. Maybe now's the time to decide to just take the shot at Haley and just get rid of her.
I
Um,
think up until there was a lot of back and forth that I honestly don't know what the move was. I know it took a lot of convincing of Melody and Mallory, or people to convince them of like get rid of Kamu in every scenario, because there was, again, the anti-icon sentiment like you mentioned, so that if it is Haley versus Angela, I don't recall what the move would have been. Because again, Haley's almost super neutral at this point. Her target was so big that it just kind of fizzled out, and she's just kind of there, which happened very quickly, because that was
yeah,
just last week that she was like number one target. Luckily for her, she saved herself, and now it's just like, yeah, she's on the block.
because now she's
Uh,
alone. Kamu's moved on to bigger and better things.
mm-hmm.
Chuck is gone.
Then she
She's
loosely
powerless by
has
herself.
Angela, but if she's against Angela at this point in this scenario, then she's really the most alone she's ever been.
Yeah. And so either way, um, the spirit of Tucker did in fact possess Angela, and she pulled out a W in the blockbuster.
Oh
My surprise, she was hype. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny too. Like, I had no idea where the vote was gonna go from this point because they kind of never really it never really touched on whether or not everyone was super keen on working with Kamu to take out the icons. But I also just kind of assumed that it would flip back to Kamu because when else are you gonna have this opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because in the Blockbuster too, a lot of people would have money on Kamu and Haley to beat Angela. And also, like, this, if people don't remember, like, this, we mentioned Tucker because he won this competition in 26, and he was the only one who realized that to win the comp, you gotta sit on the fan on the bottom and slow down the balls. The funny thing is, I come to find out that apparently Angela told both Haley and Kamu the strategy at some point, but she was the only one that actually did it.
yeah.
And I think that's funny. If that's true, it's like, Angela, please stop talking. But in the end, too, like, she was the only one who did it. I was in a car. I was not driving. I was a passenger, and I was watching on my phone, and I was
Driving,
screaming.
watching Big Brother.
Ah, you know
They know
what?
they don't tell you not to do that.
You can't drink and drive, but they didn't say you can't Big Brother and drive. But officer, Angela's in the lead.
She's about to win the blockbuster.
And at the end, when she started
Carry
pulling the
on.
balls out from the bottom, because she had too many, she was actually so good at this. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. And now it's great because the conversations about, like, who would go Angela versus Haley or Angela versus Kamu don't even matter because Angela W.
Amu versus Haley.
And
Um,
Tucker was posting about it on his story.
oh
He was like,
really?
yes, he was posting clips and he's so proud of her
That's so
and
funny.
was so excited. And not
Aw.
only was he so excited for her to win, he does not like Kamu at all.
That
Does not like him whatsoever. And I only saw like 3 posts from Tucker and I got all that. So he's having a good night for
uh
sure.
I'm looking. Oh.
Yeah.
Get this, Angela. Remember what I did for this one. That's so funny.
It was really sweet.
He
And also
posted.
just seeing a lot of pro Angela
Oh,
sentiment from the 26 cast, which is awesome considering, like, and she wasn't, a really ruthless, like, evil player, but of course, when a season's done, you do right and you do wrong by people. But it's good to see so much love for Angela from that cast overall.
because everyone knows it was TV too.
Yeah. And
It
and
was all that's her whole shtick.
of anyone in that cast, she's that's her. And she'll play it up. And she's been on, like, game shows and whatever before. And she's like, she knows what she will do for a TV moment, and she'll do it. That's kind of like the camp of Rachel from last season too, where sometimes it's just like, girl, why are you like this? It's like, because I'm an icon. And so Angela's like that. So I love seeing a little bit from Tucker too. But this was an awesome moment. I was
Mhm.
really happy to see that this meant Kamu and Haley up on the block.
And now the vote um is about to commence, and we get the eviction speeches. Haley normal eviction speech. And Kamu is actually playing damage control with this statement. Because I don't know, we can unpack this a little more, because I don't know if you're aware of why he said this, but I can give you more context if we are so inclined. So Kamu gives his speech, glory to God and all that. Um, and he ends his speech by saying, "If you are my future wife, DM me." He plugs his Instagram, two coconut emojis. Two coconut emojis. Um, so this bit actually came from a very strange moment um between I think it was Yash and him. Are you aware of
I know
this?
about kiwis, and
No, the
that's
coconut. It was the coconut still.
Yash said something about a
Yash
kiwi.
Yash was Kiwi.
I think so.
I know that the thing involving Melody. So this situation involves Yash, Kamu, and Melody in the
Mm-hmm.
gym. And they were just talking about, I don't know, I guess like how they aren't married or anything and like don't like something about kids and
Mm-hmm.
having kids. And so Kamu like says to the feeds like something about how like if you are interested in Melody, like send her two coconut emojis, but the way that he said it was just wrong. Like you don't say that like when you're being recorded 24/7 because the internet went crazy. And as
Yeah.
much as I feel indifferent towards Kamu, the internet did while the and as much as I feel indifferent to Kamu and want to dogpile him for saying this, the internet did misconstrue this, but also the way that he said it was extremely wrong. So both of these parties are extremely wrong in their actions and words.
Mm-hmm.
Very messy situation. Nothing ever came of it because the intention at the end of the day was not malicious. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that Kamu worded this was just incorrect. You don't say this.
I do vaguely remember this, and it sounding like he was low key gross about it.
Yeah,
In
that's what
just
I thought.
yeah,
And
and
like, I was like, how did he get away with saying this?
mm-hmm.
But I mean, continue.
Yeah, no, I through the tellings that I've seen, it definitely turned me away from him, but also, there's been a handful of, mentioning online of some previous posts that he's made as well that, I unfortunately for him, there's no saving him in my mind from what I've seen his posts
He's
and
just
through that
bad.
comment and it just kind of gave one of the sentiments of like kind of gave me the feeling like you are a woman, you are good for this one thing. And like whether that was his intent or not, like I'll give him room to maybe address it or be like that's not what I meant. But like it gave really icky vibes, and
Yeah,
so I don't know what his intent was. It doesn't matter at this point because of the outcome. But it's yeah, no, good to bring that up because I how could I have forgotten? But yeah, no, this is
yeah.
a kind of callback to a controversial conversation that of course he doesn't know it is. So that's kind of the ironic part of him bringing it up in his final plea for at least the online audience to be like, I'm making a really
I
grossed
remember
out
you said
face for
that.
context. Yeah,
Um,
but great in your final moments of wanting to really stay in this game. It's really great to advertise your hinge or whatever.
but it was not enough. Unanimous vote outside of Lala, for Kamu's departure from the Big Brother house. Um, you don't get this opportunity every day. Take the shot while you can. The same thing goes for the icons. When the icons are on the block, you take the shot. When Kamu's on the block, you take the shot. You can't let these opportunities pass you by. That's been, if I were to ever play Big Brother, that is the number one rule that I would stick by 1000% of the time, unless some very hyper specific situation reared its head, requiring me to not do that.
Hmm.
If you get a target on eviction night on the block, take him out, no questions asked. It's every single time it's been passed up, something cataclysmic has happened, and the house did not made the right decision. Um, Lala gave him a sympathy vote because she hated Haley so much. I guess she just knew that the rest of the house would vote against him, and the rest of the house knows that she doesn't like Lala.
Hmm.
So,
I knew when Taylor voted the way she did, it was definitely over. And Lala, yeah, probably just stuck to her,
she was friends
you
with
know.
Kamu, and she really hated Haley. So,
And good for her. She has that on her soul. And he knew it. I mean, Julie asked, like, who do you think was the one person? And he had a feeling, so at least he had that. And at least he recognizes, he was at some point such a good player that only a special power like a Diamond Power of Veto is what was required to get him out.
yeah.
But, what puts the house in general in a really tricky situation is exactly you get rid of someone because when is the next opportunity that you're going to have to get rid of them? And unfortunately, that applied to both Kamu and Angela. Now, of course, they didn't have that choice because she won for herself. But like you said, there's usually big aftermath of, well, we didn't get rid of the person we never can. And so here's the consequences of that. And so I'm very curious to see. They definitely made the right decision between
Yeah.
Kamu and Haley, but now that you have Angela, and not even specifically Angela, just icons as a trio, chillin', what is next? Still the correct move, in my
Depends on
opinion.
who's in power.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Um, I mean, as we move into next week, we'll see the aftermath of the I mean, the house is in a very different position, I guess. Um, who's left? I'm trying to think of the
Well, we got all of Mosh Pit,
mosh pit
and we
and
have Haley kind of by herself at this point. And we got Taylor and Lala and Yash.
Yash is now on an island as well, come to think of it.
On the surface, I feel like Taylor and Lala are still
Yeah.
somewhat with him, but it also, again, depending on how this week plays out, they will either get closer with him or they may just abandon ship.
Yeah.
And he, coming into this week,
Thinking
I
about
think he
that.
was in like the best position. Someone needed to make a big move, but it sucks. This week is awful for him. He had all the power, and then he had none of the power. And one of his closest allies went home. That being said, I don't really know if this time last week Kamu and Yash were really as close as they became. Because Kamu had that, adaptability
Mhm.
ability. Um, but yeah.
The house has been shaken up once again.
Rah!
Probably the biggest threat that isn't an icon left the house. I mean, it's really up to FAP to pull
Yeah.
out the stops and figure out how to remove an icon from the game. We flushed out the power, which is thank one of if anything to was positive to come out of Yasha's HOH is that it was it forced Devins to use the power and a week early at that.
Mm-hmm.
So. it is still entirely possible for an icon to go home next week, barring none of them win HOH, which is entirely possible, of course. Uh, Rooting for Drew. He has solidified his spot as my number one draft pick due to the loss of my number one draft pick.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely unexpectedly, we went from my bottom two picks getting taken away to, well, Chuck was after Lyric. So we played ping pong. We went Rome, then Lyric went, then Chuck went, and now Kamu is gone. I'm left with probably, I mean, I'm Drew. Drew is now my ride or die. Um,
Yeah.
I still have D, and Yash has proven to be competent and have ability within this game. But you're still sitting really nicely. Uh, Literally all of your picks are probably safe next week. Except for like Melody. Or, well, it depends on who wins. HOH, really and truly, there's no way to tell who's going to be safe. But there is a world in which every single one of my draft picks goes home next week.
I
Uh,
think it's really funny that like after Jason left, I just had this feeling of like my side is so in trouble
you're just
because the ones that I have left, I have Barrett, Lala, Mallory, Taylor, Melody, and then Devons because we split up the two survivor players. And I had thought I was so out, and I can't believe. I mean, the lyric vote, the switching the lyric vote really changed the trajectory for a good majority of the people on your side.
yeah.
And did I love that I have Devons. Did I want Devons over D? I didn't really make myself think about it because I knew we were really doing a coin flip. But the one of the craziest things is Devons made this big move. He used this big power that he earned, that he hid, and yet he's not on people's radar any more than he was before by just simply being an icon. I'm very
I mean,
curious to see what
he's a
the
scary
future of my
player.
side is. Yeah. A
He
scary
is,
player who's floating in the pool all week, which is, I love that
and
for him.
he's not even like a floater either. Like he is proven his ability to win competition,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still able to sit. He is the best positioned person. He has the best resume. He is, he might not be the best positioned person, but
Mm-hmm.
currently, if you had to choose a winner, it would be him,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest.
With having an automatic target of being one of the three icons, I think he is doing the best he could while also somehow not getting a lot of heat for the shenanigans that he's pulling. And I'm very impressed. My team as a whole, with like just their interpersonal connections, is funny. But I mean, you also have like it's like D and Drew and Haley and Yacht, like having D and Yacht
I'm
at
sprinkled
this
across the whole
point.
house.
Yeah. So this I'm I'm very curious to see what happens at the end of the day. Like, yes, I'm rooting for. I would like to win the draft, but I still love Drew, and I'm
Let's go,
really
Drew.
hoping that the audience bands together and we get him some kind of power.
Vote
And
for Drew, Mo, please.
I will at the time we're speaking, I suppose I could still. But I'm curious to see what happens, and I also know he would be a good sport if he gets a punishment. But let's get another power in this house, please. And let it
It's never
not
not.
be the have not.
Uh,
Because I don't even think they're really doing have nots anymore. I think they have to sleep in that room because there's no space. But I don't. It's so insignificant, and I haven't heard about slop in a minute. So hopefully we can get a power. I want the coin. I want Drew to have the coin.
Give Drew the
Let's do
coin.
it. Let's do it. Let's
Let
win.
him let him use Devin's power against him. Because Devin's had that Mr. Beast coin
That
on
would be
Survivor.
crazy. Mr. Beast
The
associate
ghost of
versus
Mr.
Mr.
Beast.
Beast associate, for they're both connected to him. Oh, also a good mythical morning shout out from
Yes,
Devon's.
I was thinking about that while we were talking about the speeches, and then I forgot when we talked
Yep.
about the vote.
I had my family rewind it. I'm like, what did
Brett
he
and
just
Link
say?
mention.
Is he's just like, between D and Devon's, their shout outs have been really funny because they've been shouting out like known people.
Yeah, D was shouted out. Is D and Pipple, are they actually cousins, or are they both just from Miami
I
and
don't
Pipple's also Cuban?
probably it. But I love that. Also, just shout out in general to the Diary Room sessions of the whole season so far, especially melodies. I'm glad I saw someone put a compilation of all of the blurred faces and blurred finger motions from the Diary Room. We're getting fed well this season, and I goodbye Kamu. I'm really excited to see what happens this week. I feel like Yash has been HOH for 10 years. So I'm ready to move into something else. um and I
I will
think
wear the chef
the
hat another week.
alas, and I still have my little crown. It's sitting so pretty.
I need my pizza back.
But you never know. We expect the unexpected in this house.
Expect the unexpected. And that wraps the diary room for today. We will be back in the diary room next week discussing everything that had happened this week. So exciting. Week 7, episode 1000. I will be
Yes.
1 year older,
Woo!
and maybe I'll be able to muster up the courage to record the episode day after my birthday. I
Time
am
will
turning
tell.
21 years old.
We will see what happens. But actually, new time slot question mark
New time slot.
as we move into the
New
fall.
time slot. I guess shall we talk about the options? Current options? Or just tease the new time slot and announce it on socials at the Diary Room WMSC on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube,
And even TikTok now.
and even
Ah,
TikTok.
ah. Yeah. Updates on our socials
Updates will be
for
coming.
new time slot, but we will still be on Spotify and YouTube, and so
YouTube.
little change, little changes coming to the diary room, but we are still locked in. We are still here. We got these books from last season.
They gave us the last season one.
So like, go sit over there.
There's actually
Go sit there.
another diary room, the secret third option.
We are in the secret third option diary room. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have an amazing week. We
Yeah.
will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.